All right, let's move on to Orioles Red Sox. My lone loss on yesterday's card was the under here, and Cramey did me dirty, but Eovaldi looking very, very good, and it was too bad. Eovaldi throwing out donuts, and they can't get that first 5 under. 73 Fahrenheit, overcast, 6 miles per hour, out 2 straight, away center in Baltimore, Boston. Cobb and Martin Perez. Perez and the Red Sox opened up at minus 140. They're now minus 150. This total was opened up juice to the over 9.5. It's now moved to under 9.5. Cobb 1 and 5, 4.76 ERA, 1.37 WHIP, 45 in the third, 34 K, 16 walks, 8 homers. Martin Perez 3 and 4, 3.88 ERA, 1.26 WHIP. He's been much better this year than I expected him to be, and it's cost me. Orioles versus lefties, 236, 702 OPS. Red Sox versus righties, 265, 788 OPS. Orioles bullpen, still strong, 4.01 ERA, 1.29 WHIP. Red Sox bullpen, still atrocious, 5.79 ERA, 1.63 WHIP. But Red Sox going for their first 4-game winning streak of the season. They've won their last 2 games by a combined 17-4 score. Perez looked very good in his last outing, 6 scoreless, and no decision against the Yankees on Friday. That was a lefty going up against the Yankees on Friday. And we've got Ryu going up against the Yankees today. And the more I talk about it, the more I think the Jays' first 5 might be my favorite look on the card. And that's because I think the Jays' first 5 is going to be my favorite look on the card. Perez, 4 and 5, 4.77 ERA, and 11 in the career starts against the O's. O's have lost 12 of 15. Cobb winless, Nate starts since he beat the Red Sox on the opening day. Gave up 2 runs, 6 hits over 5. He's got good numbers against Red Sox in his career, 8 and 6, 3.73 ERA. Vasquez hits him hard, really hard, 11 for 16. JD Martinez hits him hard, 11 for 22. And Cobb looked very good last out against the Rays. And I know he played for the Rays, so he maybe had a little extra emotion, but 4 hits over 6 innings and 2 runs. You know, are the Orioles a live dog here? I think they are, but I'm afraid to bet against Perez. He's just had my number. Take it away.
I think you said it right there. Martin Perez has looked really good, and especially here against Baltimore. He throws 7 innings, 5 hits, just 1 earned run. That does come back in August 22nd. He's looked really good as of late. Put together probably 4 or 5 quality starts that I'm really impressed with. He's looked really good this year, like you said, a bit of a surprise. And you're talking about a Baltimore team that hasn't been able to produce very many runs the last few games, especially with the last 20 games, under 2 runs per game in those 20 games. A team that bats that I really don't want to be backing right now. When you look at both these teams, are really not playing for much. But it doesn't look like it when you look at this Boston lineup and the way they've been able to produce runs, specifically the last 3 games. A lineup that has been able to produce throughout the season. The big thing has been their pitching, and here they're going to get it here with Martin Perez. You know, on the other side, you got Cobb. Like you said, you flashed it there, 2-0 against these Red Sox. Has looked good in his two starts against them. A guy that can get hit a little bit, but against Boston, 5 in the third, 4 hits, 1 earned run, and then 5 innings, 6 hits, 2 earned run, but only 1 strikeout and 1 walk. And that's a big thing that I see. This Boston lineup is on fire, and they seem to want to try to finish the season strong. I'm leaning towards the Boston here, to the Boston Red Sox on the first 5, but it's just hard to lay that juice here with this team. But that's the way I'm looking. But 2 bottom feeders, I don't want any part of it.
The Orioles earlier in the year were smashing lefties, and they've completely gone ice cold against lefties. They're just not hitting them at all. This Red Sox team hits righties hard. If we can get anything out of Cobb, which isn't a ridiculous idea, maybe we go right back to the well. There are 5.5s on the board. Let's see what I'm getting right now. What do you think of this first 5 under?
Yeah, I agree with it. It's just my recency bias is I'm really pissed off about the game yesterday. That's kind of the way I'm feeling, I guess. But yeah, I like it. The 2 pitchers have been successful against these 2 ball clubs. But one concern would be the Boston bats, whether or not they're able to continue to hit. But there's nothing on the Baltimore side that's going to tell me that they're going to have some type of offensive explosion today. They haven't been able to hit pretty much all season. So I definitely agree with it. I like the way these 2 pitchers are faced against their opponents. So I would agree, Jimmy.
Yeah, I guess Ravi Patel says, Martin Perez is done overachieving today. That's a good way of putting it. The Orioles, I can completely understand why you like the Red Sox first five. I mean, this Orioles team just stopped hitting lefties. It's minus 150. But if you go down to the first five minus a half, it's down to minus 120. And we have an Orioles team that's just not sorry, I keep saying that over and over again, but this Orioles team earlier in the year was smashing them. Their OPS has dropped all the way down to 702. All right, I'm going to we got Gabe Killian in the house joining us. I'm going to make a move here on two moves. I'm going to take Red Sox first five minus a half, and I'm also going to take this first five under 5.5. And Nolly, you're going to stay off?
Yeah. I'm leaning towards that first 500 with you, Jimmy. I think I'm going to take that one.
Okay. Ravi says I was about Perez last two innings, but now it's a minus 150 favorite. Absolutely not. It's just this Orioles team is, losing on their way out. Losing and losing and losing.